I know what you're all thinking. Why is the mayor wearing so many buttons? Is there a new minimum flair requirement in his job? I will talk about all of the buttons shortly. I should tell you that they've given me 5 minutes to speak, and everyone has already said most of the things I want to say. But my name's on the invitation, so settle in. First thing I want to do is I'd like to invite all of my colleagues from City Council to stand up, please. We nearly have a quorum, though I noticed 3 of them stepped out as soon as I came up on stage. Typical. You can sit. Wow, they actually did what I told them to do. It's that easy. Sit down, Alderman Footmans, and he sits. Gonna learn. I'm blessed every day to work with these folks because these are folks that get it, that understand what this community is about and what building this community is about and the importance of the arts in that community. And I want to make sure that we all recognize the fact that they all do it. Certainly, many of you are aware of some of my colleagues who are extremely visible in their support of the arts. I see Alderman Drew Farrell, I see Alderman Brian Pincott, who of course sits on Calgary Arts Development, but I want you to know that every one of them, if there's ever a vote that is 15-0 on council, it's votes to support the arts in this community. And I think that that is an incredibly important thing and something that we need to battle to hang on to. Alderman John Marr is giving me a dirty look saying, hey, what about me? Yes, you too. So, he is wearing purple trousers today, which terrifies me. So I am, in fact, thrilled to be with all of you today at this inaugural Lunch for Arts Champions. A year ago, just over a year ago, I stood on the stage in Olympic Plaza. New Year's Eve 2011 going into 2012. And I stood in front of, 25,000 people. They were a little cold. And I made a promise that day. It was the best kind of promise, because it's the kind of promise that other people have to work to make happen. And I promised the people that day that 2012 would be the year of Calgary. And I'm happy to say today in early 2013 that I think we fulfilled that promise together. Wasn't 2012 an incredible year? I'll come back to Calgary 2012 in just a moment, but think of all of the other things that happened in the community that year. As you know, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Calgary Public Library, the 100th anniversary of the Grand and Pump House Theatres, the 100th anniversary of all of my colleagues at Calgary Recreation, teaching kids to skate, swim, and supporting the arts for 100 years. My favorite 100th anniversary was not, in fact, I saw Bob, and hopefully he's not still wearing his hat. My favorite 100th anniversary was not, in fact, the 100th anniversary of the Calgary Stampede. That was a very close second. My favorite 100th anniversary in the years, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the first playground in Calgary. And to me, that is deeply symbolic of what we were trying to do together to build a community. But let's talk about the arts in 2012, shall we? Every one of you shares with me an incredible suite of memories, of unbelievable experiences, of seeing artists put it all out there and leave it all out there on stages and on canvases across this great city. As you know, the biggest problem in the performing arts in Calgary last year was that you couldn't get a ticket. It's a good thing. We had record after record after record broken, shattered every festival. And so much of that is due to the incredible coordinating and convening work of Calgary 2012. So let me take this moment. I'll have another opportunity when we wrap the whole thing up. But let me take this moment on behalf of all of you in the room, and in fact on behalf of all Calgarians, to thank Karen Ball, to thank Michael Green, to thank the entire team at Calgary 2012 for showing us what we can be. By the way, we're not quite done yet. The year doesn't end until April 1st, and there are still a series of amazing opportunities for all of us going forward in the next month or so. I also want to just reflect for a moment. This isn't in my script. They gave me a script. And as we learned at the reception earlier, one of the many, 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 many reasons I flunked out of drama school was inability to follow a script. I actually want to just talk about the artists that we've honored today, just for a moment. If you were not inspired, if your breath was not stolen from your body in watching those videos, there is something wrong with you. Look at the 6 artists that we have honored today. Emma Brasola. Did you hear she came here in 2010? She's been here for 2 years, and already she's taken art onto the streets, into people's lives in this community. Michelle Mink. Who doesn't love the Cowtown Opera? Who doesn't love random acts of culture? Who doesn't love walking down the street and seeing opera singers all of a sudden in your face? And who doesn't love the entrepreneurism and innovation of someone who said, if it doesn't exist in this city, I'm going to build it? Eric Moskopidis and Mia Rushton. Are there any artists who better understand viscerally, deeply inside themselves the importance of art in everyone's life? That every one of us has an artist living somewhere within us, and releasing that artist is important to all of us leading a complete life. Eric and Mia show us that every single day. Annalea Gilbertson. We heard today that there were many, many, many nominees for the City Builders Award, and there were, and they were all deserving. But honestly, can we think of anyone else whose art builds the city, who tells stories about ourselves and about our community in a more unique, more exciting, and more impactful way than Annalea Gilbertson? And Jean Grandmaitre. Jean Grandmaitre. He's a flippin' genius. That's all we can say about Jean Grandmaitre. Merci Jean, merci beaucoup pour choisir Calgary. Et maintenant, comme vous avez dit, vous êtes Calgarien pure laine. He's not going anywhere. Jean told me that this was the first time he's ever won an award. I'll let you think about that for a while. But this is not just a lunch about artists. This is an event about arts champions. And every single one of you in this room is a champion for the arts. That's why I'm wearing all the buttons. Donor, volunteer, patron. There are several others. And there are so many different roles that we can all play in terms of supporting the arts in this community. I'm not going to lecture you today about the economic impact of the arts or the social impact of the arts or why it's important to support the arts. You all know that. And we heard from John Michael today some great arguments that all of you can use in the homework that I'm about to give you. I will tell you that when we decided to resurrect this event, and when we decided to do this, we put together this wonderful committee. You see the names in your program. And we told them, look, your job is to sell tickets. We got to convince people in the community to come to this thing and support the arts. I believe, Patty Pond, if I'm not mistaken, that the lunch sold out in about 34 seconds. So all you committee members, I know you didn't actually do any work, so there's more coming. A bigger room. Greg Forrest was telling me we should have this lunch every month. I think Patty Pond would love that idea. Wouldn't you just organize it every month? It would be just fine, right? And I do want to say thank you, by the way, before I go any further, to the people who really made this happen. To the team at Calgary Arts Development, especially Patty and Amiko. Stand up! And a special thank you as well to my staff. My chief of staff is the co-chair of the committee. And when Terry said there's a lot of protocol in dealing with the mayor's office, what he was trying to say is we are a pain in the you-know-where. But we managed to get it all done. I want to say thank you to 2 other people. You heard about one of them already, but I want to do it myself. Dr. Erica Hargesheimer. Sometimes when we think about Dr. Hargesheimer's job, we think, well, she runs the fire department, which she does. She runs parks, which she does. She runs recreation, which she does. She runs the 911 center, which she does. But I want to tell you something. This woman's passion is building our community, and she understands better than anybody the importance of the arts and of culture in making that happen. So Erica, thank you for everything you've done for the city for 31 years. And you'll all be happy to know that she has agreed to come back at absolute slave wages, at least for the rest of the year, that's what she thinks, to build one of the most important cultural institutions that this city will have ever seen, which is, of course, the new Calgary Public Library, Central Library. So, thank you for that. There's someone else who has decided to move on, and I'm sure I'll have lots of opportunities to talk more about him and his contribution to the arts. But let's just say this. We all know how different, how much more exciting, and how much better the arts community in Calgary has become over the last 10 years. That's due to the work of everyone in this room. That's due to the artists who talk to others and increasingly make this a place to move to rather than a place for an artist to be from. But I think it's fair to say, and I don't think anyone would deny, that the one person who's had more to do with that than anybody else over the last 10 years is Dr. Terry Rock. So, thank you, Terry, for all you've done. So, to your homework. You are all champions of the arts. I salute you for it. But today is not about patting you on the back. I can pat a few of you on the back. I can pat Enbridge and Sandstone Asset Management, the McLaughlin family, and Doug and Lois Mitchell, and the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society on the back for those amazing Cultural Legacy Awards. But today is about re-energizing ourselves. It's about expanding this circle. It's about creating more arts champions throughout the community. It's about encouraging those that we know to do the three things that we all must do to support the arts in this community: to attend, to promote, and to invest. To continue to experience the art that is being created here and being produced here, and, as I always say, it is on a par with anywhere in the world. As those of you who know me know that my particular passion is for the theater. And I've said many times, and I'll repeat again, and I've proven it every single week, that the work we put on the stages in this city is as good as the work that goes on stages anywhere in the world. And more Calgarians need to know that. So the next time you're going to a show, I want you to take someone you've never gone to a show with before. I want you to bring someone new. And I want you to help me and help all of us expand the circle of arts champions. That's attendance. Promotion. I want you to talk about it. I want you to talk up the arts every day. Talk up the arts in your business circles, in your social circles, and in your neighborhoods. Talking about the amazing art that we produce and the amazing impact that we have. Listen to Doug and Lois Mitchell when they talk about the arts as they did in the video today. And follow that script. Be better at following scripts than I am. And finally, invest. You're all going to invest another $50 today of your own money. That's going to be tripled. And that tripling is going to make a huge difference. So, luckily, I figured out when I was scanning the QR code that I will have access to all of the people at the lunch who donated at the end. So those of you who did not will be getting a phone call from Nancy in my office. I'm kidding, of course, because everyone has to make a gift that's personally meaningful to them. But all of us have the opportunity to invest, to recommit ourselves, and to make a big difference. You know, I talk a lot, that's my last button, about this number 3, about 3 things for Calgary. This great initiative where we've reached out to all Calgarians and say, do 3 things for the community this year. And I know so many of you have done 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 things already this year for the community, and it's only February. But I do want you to think about those 3 things as well. Attend, support, invest. But the thing about 3 things for Calgary is that there's also a 4th thing. And the fourth thing is, once you've done your three things, talk about it, share it, inspire others to do the same. And that's really the theme beyond everything we're doing, and that's really my challenge and my homework for you today. To be an exemplary art champion, but to inspire others to do exactly the same. Convince every single person you know, every single organization you know, to support the arts in whatever way makes sense for them. To use their own hands, their own minds, their own hearts, to be able to improve the arts and therefore improve our community and make this city even better. That's our challenge, that's our promise, and that's what we will do together. Thank you all for being here today.